episode 531. What are you doing?
You know, I am recovering, so to speak. Well, recovering, not really recovering. I'm on the come down, maybe, from a first date I went on for the first time in a really long time. The one, I was all nervous about in the last episode.
Was it like riding a horse? Wait, a bike.
Just sit back in the saddle. No, didn't quite get to riding a horse stage. Mm-hmm.
But did it feel comfortable for you? Because,
right.
You've been off the market.
I've been off the market. And, it's hard to go on a first date because, I have to this was, my first date after, a series of, long-term relationships, too.
Right.
So
That's
it's,
what I mean.
a different energy. You have to be, I think I also go in with, the same comfort of, somebody I've known for a really long time,
Well, yeah. You mean you do that?
Yes.
'Cause I do that, too.
Yes.
Yes. I almost feel like the more anxious I become, the more casual I become.
This
It's
is
terrible.
me. What is wrong with us? Yes, that is totally it.
I'll
so I'm
waltz
being
into
all,
funerals.
yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's like an overcompensation thing.
100%, you are totally hitting the nail on the head. And I think that really bit me in the butt or came back to it wasn't the best thing because that started early. And I think I started, I think when I got nervous, I started getting a little too casual and maybe being I think, in our text messages were flirty text messages. And then,
well, because just to preface, I mean, it was a blind date, but it was set up by a brainiac.
Yes, on Twitter.
And then, do you know, I forget if you said to me before the date, whether you knew why they thought you guys would be.
I do not.
So it wasn't said, you guys should get together because.
They said, he likes therapy and you're a therapist or he goes to therapy and you're a therapist, which, interesting reasons for, and then he loves, loves animals and you love animals. And I'm all about I'll go on a date with, not anybody. I've got, some criteria, but if people think it would be a good idea, sure, let's do it.
Okay.
And so I'm very open, optimistic, oh, hello, me. Of course I'm optimistic about it. And, so and I was feeling really, really good going into it. We were definitely hitting it off, via text message and everything. And but I'll say, I don't know if this is just maybe I'm a prude. Maybe it's just me. But I feel things got more R-rated in the text messages.
Yeah.
And when that happens, it kind of takes the whole, I don't know, the nature of the relationship or how it starts or what relationship, whatever, one day, how things start in a different direction. Mm-hmm. There's
when in the flirtatious texting.
Yeah.
Was that welcome by you?
Oh,
Where
yes,
you're this is fun.
Yes, it was welcome. That's the problem is that and I'm witty and so I'll do it back. And then I think I gave too much of a green light for that to be oh, that's how we're joking. And then when it was in real life and those jokes were it's easier when I can I'm on the screen and they can't see my face and I can make the joke back and it's you don't see me squirm.
Well, and you can think about what you want your answer to be.
It and ooh. And then in person when those jokes were, kind of more sexual in nature, as, first date might be, or maybe somebody who jokes like that. It made me feel you know how I am. I answer everything. If somebody asks me a question, I'm terrible. And I'm okay, yeah, sure, I'll answer this.
Right.
And I think that I learned that maybe I could I don't have to answer every question, And so I had a good time and I had fun, but it felt like we were looking kind of for different things in relationships.
So do you think it was meant to be just a hookup then?
It felt like that was what he was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, it felt like that was what he was looking for because, and I know, I'm looking for something, I really want to get to know a person. I, care about what makes them them, more than what you can just see. And I think especially for people us who have some kind of face in the, and by us, I mean, you and me here, Suze, but, people who are sort of in the public eye, because I see, and I've seen on the show, how the person that we see on TV is not everything. That's not the full person. So I really am like, hello, I'm a therapist. Like, what I do, I want to see all the sides that you don't really, that you can't Google, that you can't, see from watching, them on TV or whatever. And it maybe felt like either he wasn't in the same place or maybe like wasn't used to having somebody ask those kind of questions. I think that's it. Maybe that's it. I don't know. The thing is, like, I'm out of practice, and so,
then that's what makes me wonder. That's why I kind of said, is it like riding a bike or a horse? Because, that book I read, Nothing Personal, about like dating now, especially like dating apps. I think that sort of hookup-y vibe is just the default setting.
That's
now.
what maybe I was thinking too, that's the default setting.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm going with this. And then when it was in the moment, I was like, no, this isn't what.
Especially if that's all that it is.
Yeah.
I mean, that can be a part of it.
Because I know he's on dating apps and I'm not. And that was like a question he'd asked me, like, oh, are you on dating apps? And like, if people are, like, yeah, get after it. But I think maybe if you're used to that, or if that's kind of how it is.
Like, the more I learn about it, the more it's like when people say dating app, it's a sex app.
That's
totally what that is.
Yeah, it feels like a hookup app.
Because
like that.
When you're going on a date, you, Sarah, and you're thinking like you might meet a partner.
Yes.
That is, I don't think that's what other people are doing.
Right. I think that they're like, yeah.
But don't they want to have a boyfriend or girlfriend? Not him.
Right.
I just mean the population at large.
Yeah. I mean, one would think.
Because eventually most people would want to pair off.
Yes. It just feels like there's always something around the corner when you have the...
Especially in LA, it's always like that.
Right. Okay. And and so it felt a little to me like first dates were probably really easy for him. And people were, and it felt like, and that like, maybe because, I don't know. And so it was not like it was harder for me.
In your mind, when you guys parted ways, were you like, maybe that is the first of many? Or were you like, that was just one and done?
Well, I felt like I almost wanted not like a do-over, but like okay, well, this was this. Like, is there an opportunity to kind of have another chance to kind of get to know more of you and who you are? Because it felt like, he asked me like to pick because he's not from the area, like pick a bar in the area. So I picked a bar. And then when we got to
he specifically said bar.
He said bar. And so I'm like, okay, I'll pick a bar. And, I would pick
Did he say why he wanted a bar?
Something about, if it goes like the way of my other dates maybe, or something about like I don't know, maybe like a history of getting roped into having to have dinner with somebody. I think this might be the general, I think this might be also like how people, like, I think that's also a result of the dating app thing, is that there's this like,
are they worthy? Into it.
Are they worthy of dinner?
I am not fine with that.
It felt a little like that, because then when we were like at dinner, he's like, oh, can we order apps? And I'm like, or let's order some apps. And then we ordered an app, and he's like, okay, I'm hungry, let's have dinner. And I was like, well, this isn't where I would have wanted to go for dinner.
You passed the apps test?
Yeah, I passed the apps test. And it felt like, and like, because now I'm like, this is like bar food. Like, if we were going out to a restaurant, I would have liked a dinner where we can talk, and like I can, it's like a loud bar, and we're like yelling over a table. And it was a communal table.
No way.
That to me is not as intimate and as like...
You basically had a picnic. Are you kidding me? Communal?
Yeah. So that was like... And in fairness, like I did pick the... But he got there first. And, it just felt like it was set up for something more casual than what I had guessed.
Yeah, but
and I'm just happy I didn't wear heels, because my outfit did say casual.
Okay, but we're not 20.
Right, true. To me, everything is I feel like I'm at the age where like I don't want to casually. I want to be like treated.
Yeah, please.
Like because what they eventually will get back is really good.
I do not love like that idea where nobody has to put in any effort anymore.
It did feel a little bit like that. It
maybe
felt like
we're just old.
Or maybe I'm just old.
Well, and I wouldn't go. I'm not going on dates with anybody who hasn't been to therapy.
Right.
So
that's
for some people, it's a requirement these days.
I mean, you should also do it for betterment and healing, but
yes,
also to get dates. BetterHelp is great because you can access professional counseling from your phone or your computer, from your house. It's so convenient. It's all digital. It's not self-help. This is the real deal. And they have qualified counselors that deal with family conflicts, LGBT stuff, grief, self-esteem, anxiety, whatever it is that is on your mind, they can help you with. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid's available. And they have service available for clients worldwide. So there you go. We want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting BetterHelp.com/BrainCandy. Join over 1 million people taking charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/BrainCandy. And a lot of people are happy that the world's going back to normal, but are still struggling. And so maybe you're one of those people. And
yes,
absolutely. Yeah. And it just can be like, there's like a social hangover that you get now of like, you go out and it's like, oh my God, that was draining. And it is hard to get, back in the swing of things. And
so get all the help you can.
Yeah, man. And maybe, you know what? I have this thing, there's that feeling of like, am I asking for too much? Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. This is, and the other thing, the thing that, and so afterwards I kind of had that feeling of like, I'd like a do-over of this. I'd like, give us like a second, like not in a bar scene to chat more and get to know him meal. And like a proper like get to know you, or even like doesn't even have to be a meal. Like let's go on like a day date somewhere to like really like talk and like hang out and like get to know each other. What do you like to do? What are your
he just wanted to like maybe go to Lookout Point or whatever. Yeah, I think maybe the kids do.
Like whatever the kids do.
Darn. Okay.
Yeah. And
did it break the seal though? Where you're like, okay, now I can date. Okay.
For sure it did. Okay. And then I was like, oh, okay. And now I know because I will. One of the things that I feel like should naturally come with grown-up relationships is like none of those stupid like wait to text them or like 3 days like stupid. That's dumb. And we all know everybody's on their phone all the time. And when you're back and forth with me before we go out, and it's like really good banter, and then it's like crickets, I'm like, that's not either you weren't interested, which if that's the case, I am fine with that. Hello, we know if I ain't your cup of tea, don't drink it. We literally made that merch.
Right.
I know that so well. I have merch that says that. I am totally fine if I'm not your cup of tea.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm okay, and I can take it, and I'm a lot of people's. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm like Earl Grey over here. Maybe some people don't like it, but the majority of the population does.
Right,
it's a fun pick me up. So there you go. And so
okay. What if he were to text you and be like, "That was so much fun. Let's go to dinner. Let's go somewhere like fancy."
Well, I gave him some time to do that, and after about 3 days. Of nothing, I just sent him a text message
and said,
thanks. I had some good times with you, but I think you and I just have we're looking for different things. No problem.
Okay. Yeah. And how did that get received?
Like, okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Sounds good. Which it feels like, okay, so he thought the same. I just said it first. And so,
do you think?
Maybe.
We don't know.
I can only, I don't know. I'm just not in the, I know. I'm very clear. I'm very...
Yeah.
And I'm not... I don't...
It was a good, just one-time deal.
And I am super grateful to the Brainiacs for setting me up. This is exactly how I wanted to happen. Yeah. It's really, it's super fun. It's great. Mm-hmm. It's,
So you're open to, suggestions.
Yeah, I'm open to anything. I feel like the bar that you guys come on. Let me just it's not anybody, people. You have to say, would this person go camping with Sarah? That is it. And I just didn't get the vibe that he would go camping with me.
Oh, okay.
That was, I think, it. And I think in my head, I know it sounds silly.
No, nail in the coffin right there.
But in my marriage, I that was one. It was when we went on that road trip and the camping trip in the trailer where I was like, yeah, I don't think you'll be able to do this with me. And that was when I said I have to get a divorce. I want to get a divorce. So I think that's kind of been my own little like bar. Like, so a litmus test of would you go camping with me? And what would you be like? I just don't think that he would.
You don't have the same approach to that.
We don't have the same approach to camping. Which is freaking fine. Camping. Not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
really narrows the field.
Yeah, this is like a, again, if I ain't your cup, it's no problem.
Okay.
So I'm good with it. I will say, I don't need to be nervous next time.
Heck no.
I was way too nervous for.
What were you scared of, or whatever word you would use?
I mean, you know what? Honestly, rejection.
Yeah.
And now that it felt a little bit like rejection, and I was like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And then I was like, oh, I'm not going to sit here waiting to be rejected.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say, well, okay, it seems like you're not really feeling it. Let me just do it for you. And then it was like freeing. No joke, Susie, like haven't really done that before. Of course, I've been married for forever, and then, not forever, but, and then in long-term relationships. So I didn't really have the opportunity with the knowledge that I have now. I guess when Ren and I started dating, there were a couple people that I was, went on a couple dates with that I did say, like, hey, thanks for fun times, but I'm, seeing somebody else.
Yeah.
So I've definitely said that. I've said that, but I've never just said, had some, I'm basically, I don't ever want to ghost anybody.
Yeah.
I think we should all just be honest with our, how we feel. And everybody's a grown up here, right?
Yeah, right.
I did give him a kiss, though, and he was a good kisser.
Okay, that's
But I won a
good.
bet because we were betting over the Clippers and Suns game.
Yeah, you're not a welcher.
Right.
Come on.
So
a
I'm
bet's
like,
a bet.
A bet's a bet over here. Give me a kiss. And that was fun, so I'll
Right.
take that.
All right, good enough.
Yeah.
Well, on to the next.
On to the next.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So, moving on. Here's a fun fact for you. There is not more to this story. This is just something I wanted to share. On the International Space Station, there is no such thing as Laundry Day. Right now, an astronaut needs about 150 pounds of clothes in space per year and will wear their clothes, gym, underwear, everything, until they cannot stand the smell. And then they throw the clothes away, ejecting the shirts to eventually burn up in the atmosphere. What? How is this the option that they chose?
I would never be able to. I wouldn't be able to go to space on that alone. For that fact alone.
Yeah, because it's like space litter.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Wait,
First of all,
what's your
there's
reason?
space litter everywhere, so it's a real problem.
Well,
but
that
my
actually
problem,
is true.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely lost, not tons of sleep, but maybe like a couple minutes here and there over the amount, like what will happen with all the trash in space. Don't get me started. Like it is hours with what will happen with all the trash in the ocean. Susie, I just don't like litter.
It's not good.
But my big problem with that is that I am a sensitive lady who has sensitive skin. And if I were to wear clothes that I sweat in again, I'm definitely like getting like I'm breaking out on my arms. I'm getting those butt bumps. Oh,
well, so that's what I'm wondering,
like when you wear workout pants. No. Where's the hygiene here?
Let's
and
say
also,
you had to
no
do
hygiene
this,
on the space station seems like not right. That seems like the place we should be being the most hygienic.
It says they couldn't find a way to clean the clothes in space.
Okay. Look, I always love how I think that I, Sarah, the podcast host, am going to single-handedly solve
You're like, let me get
this age-old problem.
Yeah, I read a separate article about how the one appliance they can't really figure out how to make is a refrigerator for space, too. So they're working on that.
Yeah. Also, I apologize for the leaf blower.
Oh,
that's
I thought
happening.
It was a printer. I was like, oh, she's getting some paperwork done
Could you
during the
imagine
show.
if I'm just printing? No, but we're not doing this on our regular day, and this happens to be a leaf blower day. So that's fun for everybody. You get
what
to
I want to know, though, is let's say you did have to wear your underwear indefinitely. How long do you think it would take before you couldn't stand the smell? Like a week?
No, it's not about the smell. It's about just the yuck factor.
No, but that's how they have to do it until they can't stand the smell.
They have to do it until they can't stand the smell.
That's sort of arbitrary.
For fuck's sake.
Maybe you'd be like, well, one day I can't stand the smell, and then you throw it out the window of the rocket.
I mean, because I've picked up some like, oh my God, like, my ex-husband used to wear his gym clothes. They would get so sweaty, and then he would drape them over the back of our kitchen like chairs.
Gross.
I got so fucking mad at him for this. I was like, get your because I was like, then it gets bacteria all over the back of my chairs, and then are you the one cleaning the chairs?
Yeah.
No, I am. So don't do that. And so like I think about how gross those clothes were after a one time. Here's what I would do and not fucking work out on the space station.
Yeah. Plan number 1.
I will take that lower bone density. I don't care. I'm not living in bacteria-filled clothing. Thank you.
You're so right.
The end.
Step 1.
It's gone pretty well for me in COVID during quarantine. I didn't work out a single day for that year. That's about the time somebody spends.
Are you refusing to answer the question, though?
Of how long?
Yes. How long would you be
I think it would be like 2
wear?
days.
2 days you'd wear a shirt, and then you'd be like, fuck this.
But like how long are we like talking working out?
It said gym. So I guess they mean gym clothes, like workout clothes.
Workout clothes.
I don't
think you can. I don't think I could. Oh God! But then I dry it. No, because like when I'm camping, I've definitely been on a long.
Yeah.
You know what? And I've done a challenge. Mm-hmm. I wore some really stinky. I had clothes covered in fish guts. Yeah. For multiple days. Oh, like, this is not a problem.
You get into a different mindset, I think. When you're in
okay. I'm putting it. Okay, this is. You know what the problem is I feel like movies about the movies about space that often take place in the future have really confused me on what life is actually like on a space station. Because I see it as them like walking around in these like very sterile suits that are like what?
What would be an example of a movie like this?
I don't know. Interstellar.
You're like, those movies.
You don't, though, do you, Susie? You have no idea what I'm talking about.
Right, I'm like, what does she mean in the future?
I'm dying. Oh, that is so funny.
Like, was it in your head, though, and you didn't want to say it?
No, I swear to God.
Neither until just then.
I was just...
Oh, God.
I'm dying. Oh, the running joke of you never watching Interstellar when I know it will be your favorite movie.
It's like the meanest thing I've done to myself to make you laugh.
It's so funny.
I'm depriving myself of good cinema.
I don't know why it tickles me so much. It just does. It just does. Oh, you have me laughing today, Sus.
Another thing that makes us laugh is watching old home movies, and you should get yours digitized, everybody. I mean,
sure.
Then you can enjoy, like, that really shitty uncle's wedding that you went to that, like, somebody fell on the dance floor.
Oh, my God. I wish they had the video of when I was a flower girl and I took 3 steps onto the aisle, then dumped the entire bucket out and ran.
See? We could all be enjoying that footage. If you just send your stuff to Legacy Box and get everything digitized, you could put it on social media and embarrass your family members.
Oh my God, yes!
There's so much potential here.
That's so good.
And also, like, your parents have those horrible reels and, like, VHS. You need to sort that out so you can watch them and have a laugh and take a trip down memory lane. Right now, Legacy Box is offering 40% off so your family can celebrate meaningful moments at a fraction of the normal price. Visit legacybox.com/brain to get started today. That's legacybox.com/brain for 40% off. legacybox.com/brain. I was telling Sarah before we started, I have a family member who is sick and in hospice, and they watch old home movies in the evening to like comfort her. And
that's such a good idea.
Isn't that special?
That is really special. In fact, that's a a ritual or intervention that I've given clients in the past who have, spouses or loved ones or family members, to make go through make a new memory box, and go through the old movies and put together a new, a one altogether of some fun times that they get to choose.
It can be very
super
restorative.
Healing.
Yeah. Anyway, back to
I love that idea, Suze.
Yeah.
A+. Really good idea. Love it.
Okay. My favorite Substack is Katrine Marsal. I mentioned her last time. She has that book coming out.
What on earth is Substack?
Substack is like a newsletter.
Do I know
Tumblr.
nothing? Okay.
But
okay. I've recently been explained Reddit, so I know we're very behind.
No, this is you know how in journalism, a lot of people have been laid off because newspapers are going through this crisis. And so a lot of these amazing writers have just started Substacks, which you can have free ones or you can have paid ones. And so people might pay, $50 a year to get all your writing. And
wow, that's cool.
It's really cool. And a lot of them you can get once a week for free. And then if you want extra, you can pay. But Katrine Marsal is the one who has that book coming out called Mother of Invention, about how innovation is always sexist and it's all fucked up. She's the one that did the thing about the roofs of cars being seen as feminine.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
Well, she came out with another one. This was in The Guardian, actually. And she wrote about how wheels on suitcases had the same fate, that it took 15 years after the patent of wheels on suitcases to even get into department stores because they thought men wouldn't use them because they want to show how strong they are and just carry them.
Oh, my
And
God.
no women would ever travel alone, so the man carries the suitcase, and so nobody needs wheels.
Oh, my God. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. So I was all wound up
and
about
now
that.
I think about men's, why there is... I love the look of a men's duffel, but they very rarely have shoulder straps.
Yeah.
And it's annoying. And now I get it. I didn't even put that together.
Yeah.
Or it's these things are so subtle and subconsciously taking place. So many of our behaviors and our actions are not in our conscious awareness.
Mm-hmm.
We are reacting based on old, I don't know, biological tapes that play.
Yeah.
And we don't realize that we're doing, I don't even know, a lot of these things aren't even conscious, but what the fuck?
But that's why, if all your buyers at the department store are men or white or whatever, then they might be missing a product that would be helpful to someone else because they think, well, who needs that? Well, maybe somebody else.
I think this is the same with everything. Oh, how about movies that get made? Mm-hmm. This is representation across the board.
Well, was
who
I
would
talking
want
to
to hear
you about
that story? Anybody?
Was I saying this? How they did this survey and they found out how few black female movie critics there are, and what a big problem that is. Because
huge.
If you make a movie that appeals to black females and all the people reviewing it are white men, then that it might bomb at the box office because all the reviews sucked, and then they don't make another one. Stuff like that.
For sure.
It's consequential.
Once again,
yeah,
mad at the patriarchy.
Mad at the patriarchy and white supremacy.
Yes. That reminds me of the freaking movie that I got really mad at with the two Promising Young Woman.
Yes.
With the two different reviews.
Yes.
One negative review or it was fine. Or critique, we'll call it. Yeah. From the male critic. Okay, so it's fair that he gave a critique. I did hear it as soon as I said it. But it was a harsh critique. versus a ranting or raving review from the woman.
Yeah. There needs to be reviewers of a broad spectrum to help balance that.
Well, and this is why having black spaces, is kind of like is an important thing, because a lot of times they're like no space anywhere else.
Yeah. Ugh. So something to think about. And you should sign up for her Substack because it is great. Okay. So there was this amazing article in the New York Times that I have heard about this woman, but I didn't know all the details. This woman was on a flight from Peru. This was like 50 years ago. And she was in the very back row, and she saw a bolt of lightning hit the wing.
Oh, shit.
And then they started nose diving. The plane was going down to the ground, and it broke apart. And she was buckled into the back, row of seats, and then she was falling to the ground, still attached to that row of seats by herself.
Oh, my God.
In the air, she fell 2 miles.
Oh, my God.
The canopy of the trees of the Amazon caught her, and she survived. And she woke up the next day on the floor of the Amazon, of the rainforest, and had to walk for 11 days.
This is a real story?
This is a real fucking story. And she did have like a broken collarbone, but otherwise she was okay. She walked with one shoe and just followed the river.
Which is a lot through the Amazon. The entire floor of the Amazon is fucking bugs.
That's what she said, snakes and...
Oh my God! Get the heebie-jeebies!
I said to Adam, I don't know what's worse, the plane crash, or the walking through.
I was thinking, Susie. My vote is the walk through the Amazon.
He didn't. I agree with you. He said the plane crash. I'm like, are you nuts?
Are you crazy? That's like...
Are you crazy?
Are you crazy?
A plane crash. That's simple. Walking to the jungle. Now that's scary.
Imagine. Well, you know what? The adrenaline from that plane crash. I mean, I'm sure there's there's got to be a little bit of that. Just like,
well, and you pass out eventually.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's not like she remembers hitting the canopy of trees or anything. She passed out. And, okay, so then she was so grateful for the trees saving her that she made a promise to serve nature and humanity. She got a PhD in zoology.
Oh.
And now she, is an activist for preservation.
Okay. This is the most badass bitch.
Right.
That ever was a badass bitch.
Like, can you even imagine?
No. I do think that I could do it, but I can't imagine doing it.
You definitely could, but I would be forever changed, and I certainly wouldn't be like, I'm so grateful for the jungle. I'd be like, fuck that jungle. I'm going to the Four Seasons. I'm out of here.
Oh, my God. That's funny.
But I admire her. And
that's interesting. I think maybe you would. I don't know. I think you would have that respect for nature.
Oh, well, I sure wouldn't want to go back. But they took her back recently for the 50th anniversary. I don't know who they is, but she went back with people, and they went to the site where the plane had kind of landed all through the jungle, and they found 2 people that were in the crash, and they were also strapped to those seats, and they were like they had fallen head first, so their bodies were like 3 feet underground. And she was afraid that one of them was her mom, so she looked at the toes, and they were painted, and she was like, my mom never painted her toes, so that's why. But, like, can you imagine?
My mom never painted. Oh, no, I can't imagine.
Like, just
that
to
the
see
toes.
That? How 50 years later are they still there? I don't get it.
And that painted toenails are identifiable?
Right, I don't get it.
Those didn't get gnawed off?
Unless I misread it and she went back right after the crash, but I think it was recently. It was really weird.
Oh my God. But even recently or long time, same diff. Yeah, still crazy that it's still there.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God.
I mean, she's miraculous.
It would still be traumatizing to see as well.
I just can't believe that. So you know how they use the thing of like, that's like getting struck by lightning. So she got struck by lightning.
Oh my God, I forgot about that detail. I mean, I didn't, but
the plane breaks apart.
What are the chances? Right.
Then she survives the crash. Then the whole thing is just inconceivable.
Wow.
It's a miracle, as is the amazing products that Quip has brought to my oral health care.
Ooh, I finally got the mouthwash.
What do you think? Do you love it?
Yeah, and I love the dispenser.
I love the dispenser. Their mouthwash is concentrated, so it saves on, the waste of shipping those gigantic bottles. And then you just pour it in. You add a little bit of water, and it's in this really beautiful dispenser, as Sarah said, that can sit on your sink without looking ugly.
Yes.
And then their toothbrushes are so beautiful. They mount to your mirror, and they send you a new head every 3 months, so it's clean and beautiful and lovely. They just have awesome stuff. They have refillable floss now. I'm on this mission to get you all to floss, so I hope you're doing that.
Please do.
Hope you're using
daily.
I hope you're using Quip. If you go to getquip.com/brain right now, you get $5 off a mouthwash starter kit. That's $5 off a mouthwash starter kit, which includes the refillable dispenser and a 90-dose supply of Quip's 4 times concentrated formula at getquip.com/brain, spelled GETQUIP.com/brain. Quip is the Good Habits Company, and I love a good habit, as you know.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, moving on. This is just something I was thinking about. I had read this article also in the New York Times about somebody who thinks that they solved those Zodiac Killer, like, what are they called? Whatever they, cryptic something.
Yeah.
Those codes.
Yeah.
And these have always
a cipher?
Yes.
No, that's what you use to solve the code. Or is that
right.
the code?
You're right.
Fucking A.
It's a C word, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the thing is, okay, maybe he solved it, maybe he didn't. But the thing that fascinated me was that he had gone onto one of these Zodiac Killer, I don't know, subreddits or something, and said he solved it, and here's what it is, and here's why he thinks that. And they were really mad. And the implication was almost that they don't want it to be solved because they enjoy doing this so much.
Yeah, the puzzle, the hunt.
It never occurred to me that these people that like these sort of treasure hunts or code cracking would like kind of not want there to be a resolution. Does that surprise you?
Yes, because I am somebody who really needs with everything but, well, actually, here's where my mind goes. Okay. 2 places. One, when I paint my nails, I get crazy anxiety. Like I can feel it on the 9th nail where it feels like I need to paint the 10th one. Like it's like I'm so close to being done. I'm almost done. It's a weird thing. Like I can feel this physiological change and then like a feeling of relief when I paint the 10th one, which is so weird. I don't know why. And maybe I'm just like, it's like kind of like a, come on, let's hurry up. I mean, I enjoy it, but I'm like looking to get done, whatever I'm doing.
Well, so that by that logic, I would think they'd want to solve it.
Right. But then I think about how I am when I read books, and I don't like to say goodbye. So I don't like reading the last chapter.
Okay. I guess that's similar.
And that's the same thing. And then I know I've said that before on here and in our book club, and all you guys are like, what? You don't find out the end? You know what? I'm like, well, I don't want to know. I don't want it to be over yet. And so maybe it's like that. So I get that. So that's where my mind goes. And so those are the two sides of the argument I have in my head.
I guess I just can't relate because I've never been like one of these people that is like, it's the journey, not the destination. I'm always like, no, it's the destination. Like, just tell me who the goddamn Zodiac Killer was. I need to know. How did this guy...
I think it is the journey for you, but you like the journey. You like to retrace the steps after you already know what the destination is.
Yeah, that's fun. We can still keep talking about the codes. I mean,
yeah, because you want to like know why, what happened, what created this. You're very interested in that.
Yeah, but I don't know. That just surprised me, and it never occurred to me that someone would not want the answer to a puzzle like that. Right. So humans are weird. That's the lesson I learned.
Well, for sure.
Okay.
I do get that a little bit. But and now I want to know what the fuck it said.
Oh, so they have them numbered. There were 4, and 2 of them they've already sorted out, and they're okay with that. But there's these 2 bonus ones, and one of them begins in normal English, and it says, "My name is," or "I," like something like "I am," or something that you know that whatever the code is going to be this guy's name. And so he applied this system that he believed spelled Kayr, which is very close to one of the suspects, which was Kaye. Some guy named K.
Oh my God, that's it. Oh my God, I got goosebumps.
And the mistake...
You don't think that's exciting?
The mistake is the same as one that was in another of the codes.
So that is the killer! Where is Kay?
He's dead.
Oh, fuck. But see, still, that feels like no resolution. Damn it!
But it could lead to more, like if you looked closer at Kay, maybe then you'd find more things, and then you'd realize, yep, he did do it, or DNA, or whatever.
Yeah, look at Kay. Why are we doing this? Who's on this case? Come on, detectives.
Yeah, quit making your goddamn feature films and figure it out. No, yeah, and the other one, I forget what the other one said in it, but it wasn't that exciting. But I would think to people that spend time in the subreddits, it'd be real exciting. Because that's what they devote so much time to. It's like those people that were in the Facebook groups for the Don't Fuck with Cats mysteries.
Right.
Like, they weren't just doing it for fun. They wanted to find the guy.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, moving on. We never followed up. I wanted to follow up on our conversation about this question of who's more uncensored. You mentioned something, and I think that you were totally on the right track. And
okay, what'd I say?
You were saying we're uncensored in different ways.
Yes.
And I think that I know how that is true.
Oh, tell me.
Okay. I am pretty sure that the way that we're different is that you are uncensored about your own life. Yes. You will say anything. You have no shame. You'll be like, I had diarrhea this morning or whatever.
Yeah. Really? I had to choose that one? I did not have diarrhea this morning.
Something that most people would feel weird admitting. You're like, yeah, who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
I am more private.
Like when I can't pee you and my menstrual cup is in?
Yes.
It's fucking weird.
I really don't reveal that much, to be honest. I keep things pretty close to the vest, but I am very uncensored about my opinions about other people. And so, like, you're way nicer and I'm the asshole. That's the summary version.
Oh my gosh. Mine's all about myself. Yours is all about everybody else.
Yeah, whenever it's about someone else, you're like super nice and respectful. And I'm like, what is this idiot doing with his tiny wiener hanging out? Whatever. And some of the people that responded to the poll on Instagram, they sent messages where they were like, Sarah is usually more uncensored, but when Susie goes for it, she really goes for it. And I'm so embarrassed, but it's so true.
Oh, I love it. Don't ever stop going for it.
Don't ever change.
Don't ever change.
In the end, I think that you got the majority. It was like 60-40 or something.
Really? Mm-hmm. Of being the most uncensored?
Yeah.
Or the most, yeah. Yeah. I mean, because people are more shocked when it's about your own life, because it's like, yes. Oh my God, she shared that she did that, and like, here I'm like talking about my blind dates and like not knowing if they like me and everything, and like.
I really like that about you.
Who does that? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
It's a great trait. Don't ever change.
Well, it's good. Okay. It's good for podcasts.
There was a great article in the Smithsonian Magazine that was about how mirrors were the first selfies. And I really enjoyed it.
Whoa.
It was sort of saying
that's a head scratch. Like, that makes me think. That's some deep thoughts.
I liked it because there's always this stigma about younger people that, they're so narcissistic. They all take all these selfies and they're always looking at themselves in their phones. And this was saying, like, this is not new. Everyone has always, as soon as we knew there was reflections, even in water, you start to see yourself. It's transfixing.
I have mirrors all over my house.
Do you? Is it a look you like?
It is a look I like. It's not to look at myself.
Yeah.
But my mom was like, "You don't need another mirror here." I'm like, "Yes, I do." They're
handy.
And they also make the space look bigger.
Absolutely. I fall for that every time I go to a GD restaurant. Right. I'm like, who's that lady over there that looks just like me? It's true. It is. One of the things that made me think about, though, is how it talked about how it didn't take long for women to sort of be accused of vanity and being extra into these mirrors. And it had said, like, men started getting fretting about baldness once mirrors were around, and like Romans used them during orgies. People like to watch. It was like porn. It was like porn that you were in at that very moment. And then, like,
mirrors on the ceilings.
I feel like, okay, let's say women are more into looking at their reflections. Yeah. It's only because men have made it the only currency that women have.
This is true. If it weren't if it weren't the currency, if it weren't, like, then, and also, I think that men are just as vain.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
They really are. Like, it's just things that are they're vain about other things.
Okay.
And like, maybe it's can you be vain about things that are outside of you, like your car?
Oh, right. It's like an extension of themselves. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that even themselves, true. Like with this suit or this watch or this, guys. And now they're like, guys are wearing makeup. Like, to pretend that it's only women, fuck off. It's not.
They said that
it's like when they try to say only men like sex. No, everybody's the same. Just shush.
Just shush.
Just shush.
It said that scholars believe that the production of the mirror, and especially the mass production of it, which took a lot longer, was instrumental in the shift from, like, the primacy of community to the individual.
Wow. Well, yeah.
Which makes sense, but something I never thought about. That once you could see yourself as an autonomous, independent being, you cared less about the group, the tribe, the community.
I would agree with this. There's also something really magical that happens when you go a long time without looking in a mirror.
Oh, did you say magical?
Yes, something very good. Like there's, I will say that self-confidence goes up. For me.
You think?
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
Every camping trip I've ever been on has proved this. And I don't think it's just camping. Like, I bet if you were to take away mirrors and not look at yourself, for fucking sure, that would be, for me. I don't know how it is for everybody else. But because then I have to think about, like, correlation, not causation over here, the golden rule. Yeah. And I think, well, am I just excited and happy and feel like that sense of connection because I've just spent time in nature? So I need like another situation where I wouldn't be looking in mirrors, but I wouldn't be in nature to really have some clear, results to
like on the challenge.
Well, I was thinking that too, because I do feel better on there, but then I do look in the mirror for interviews and stuff like that. And I do care.
But they don't have them around the house because then you'd see the cameras. So there are fewer.
And I am less like, I care less about like my skin. Like I'm like, whatever. Like I'm not like picking at my face at all. I'm, which I totally do when I get nervous, which is weird because I never did it in the challenge houses, but it's like an anxious thing, I suppose.
Yeah. What do you pick? Like your face? Or just any little bump?
Like, my face, like you do when you look in the mirror. You do this.
Oh, no, I do it constantly.
Right.
This is my,
in fact, psychomotor agitation because we're anxious people.
Yes. Also because it's almost like, it's like a real effed up version of perfectionism.
Yeah. Yes. That's how I feel too. It's got to be smooth.
Like, yeah, and you're making it worse intellectually.
Yep.
But emotionally, you think, I got to get this thing off my body.
That's 100% correct. And the worst is like when I'm nervous or then I forget that I'm even like in the presence of other humans. And like, well,
hey, when you're here, do you want to get like facials or something?
Oh my God, I would love that.
Okay. Yeah, that's just
I want the whole I want to do the whole thing. I was like already looking at spas in where's the funny place? Their name there's the Poconos.
Oh my God.
I was like, where are some spa like resorts?
Away.
And I figured, but I was like funny. In Pennsylvania or like near
Sarah and I are going to get a heart-shaped bed and go to the honeymoon capital of Pennsylvania for a facial.
Poconos. But I like to think that's like where like some fancy resort thing came up because like I was like, I don't know, I'm feeling like I should like treat myself. I haven't really, when I went to Costa Rica, it was like I was still working and I was staying at my mom's house. So yeah, it was like a vacation, of course. We did so many fun things. So that felt amazing. But it wasn't like the luxury vacation where like somebody kisses my ass the whole time and like, I got like,
we'll make that happen.
Buffets.
I got you, boo.
I think I'm due in for that.
One last thing was that they said that after mirrors that people started commissioning more portraits. Fashion became way more important, and the wealthy spent hours practicing smiles and poses.
Oh, nothing has changed except the media or device on which we it's all the same.
So there you go.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
People are vain. That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
and
there's nothing
mirrors
that wrong with it either.
That's interesting because then that makes me think about different treatment programs and maybe getting rid of mirrors in them.
Oh, do you think they probably do that?
Like, I wonder if I'm going to ask my friend who works does a lot of work with eating disorders to see if those clinics have mirrors in the bathrooms. Because part of me thinks that they should get rid of them.
Yeah, and it's kind of like that thing from Power of Habit where you need to decenter yourself. And it can't be about you. It has to be about like a higher power or a something outside of you in order to recover from it.
That I wonder if I've not ever heard of that.
Yeah, ask her.
So that is so interesting. I'm very interested in that. Also, what I just saw at the car, I just had like a moment where my like mind went somewhere else because do you ever get like a little black spot in your eye, like a little floater in your eyeball? Mm-hmm. What the hell is that?
I don't know. Did it just come out of nowhere?
Yeah, like I got like on my left eye, I got like a little spot that like.
Hey, eye doctors, listen. We need help here.
Also, I have I'm genetically predisposed to macular degeneration.
Oh no!
So I feel like what is this?
That reminds me. I read this fantastic article about Alzheimer's because I'm so scared of getting it. We both are.
Yes.
And so they did this thing where they looked at all these people that were over 100 and were trying to figure out like, why they didn't have dementia. You know, these were, healthy, seemingly well people. When they scanned their brains, half of them had the plaque and the webbing that comes with Alzheimer's, but had no symptoms. And two of the things they said that were critical to this being possible is protecting your hearing and protecting your vision.
My God.
Because if you start losing that, because what that is information going into your brain via your ears or your eyes. And if that starts to become less, then your brain function becomes less. Can become less.
Oh my God.
Isn't that a good tip, though?
I think that makes me more terrified.
No, because you can start now, like, being really protective of your ears, take earplugs to concerts, or...
definitely protect your ears.
Always wear sunglasses, even if it's cloudy.
Polarized ones, too.
Yeah, so
My brother said don't even bother with the not polarized ones.
Okay. So this is good information. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. Yeah, I don't think my grandma ever really wore sunglasses. And she never met a vegetable she liked. So she's not getting any of those good B whatever vitamins that help with that. So I got to take care of these puppies.
The fact that you could have all of that brain, whatever plaque, without the symptoms.
You're fine, Susie.
Okay, well, let's hope so.
No worries. There are things we can do. And here we were doing crossword puzzles, thinking that was going to fucking help.
Yeah, we're doomed.
Meanwhile, we need to be wearing our sunglasses.
Yeah. So I was glad to know that, though, because I was like, that is good information.
Really good.
And, okay, last thing. I read this article about prosthesis.
Yes.
And it was saying how everybody that was developing these artificial limbs was under the impression that they would be more effective if they looked like your actual body part, that the brain would make a quicker association.
Oh, yeah.
And then they just found out that is not true. And
it's just anything.
Weirdly, the less it looks like your... which is super weird.
What?
Isn't that bizarre?
Okay.
Yeah.
What? These kind of things make all the blood drain out of my body. Because it just feels like, it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like, why is that? Nothing happens for no fucking reason.
Well, they were like, basically, the research says don't bother trying to make them look, just like a body part, that your brain is plastic. Your brain is going to come up with the best solution to represent the prosthesis. The brain knows it's not a hand.
Right. Maybe that's it. That it's like, creates cognitive dissonance when it knows it's not a hand, but it looks like a hand.
Yeah.
But it's fine when it knows it's not a hand and it doesn't look like a hand. It's like, yeah, that's fine.
But in the end, it was great news because that way they can just make the one that works the best and is the most effective rather than one that looks realistic.
I'm all for cyborg future.
Yeah, right?
Bring it on. I'm ready for Human 2.0. Let's do this shit. I watched the Paralympics with the women who were like sprinter, like the
cool.
running. Mm-hmm. Holy crap. What do they call that? Track and field.
Yeah.
And the woman who set the record for, I can't remember what race it was, but some super fast race and the long jump in the same day. Oh my God. Watching her do the long jump with 2 prosthetic legs was so badass. I'm like, that is the future. That's the Olympics I want. You know what? Everybody, I want all the people who are trans, and I want it to be everybody who's non-normative. But yeah, that's who I want competing. Not regular people, superhumans. People who feel like they're evolutions of humans.
Do you think that they should get rid of even the gender breakdowns, period? Because that's just a little bit of a problem.
I know.
That's the only little
because
snag.
It really is. So that, I don't think they should. I don't know. I'm certain that's one I definitely am not going to solve on the podcast.
No, I know. It's just parlor talk.
And one of my favorite books I ever read, it was one of our book club picks, The Sports Gene by, I believe it was David Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
And in it talked about sports where women surpass like men, and it's long distance swimming. What is it? The high jump with the skis, like the ski jump.
Okay.
Because their body size is really good for it. But there aren't many. So I think it's the expansion of sports is what we need. Oh, like remember that game, that really fun game that, I talked about it on the podcast like a year or two ago.
Yeah, you did, a new sport.
Yeah, it was a new sport that totally like takes into account male and female like strengths, and it doesn't matter. So I think that's what we need. We need more sport. We need to just... Who wants to fucking watch curling anyway?
Oh, no. The curling community is not going to like this.
I know. I'm saying that as somebody who's never curled.
It's like when I made that joke about that equestrian event that I always mispronounce that looks like dressage.
Dressage?
Yeah. And
I love
they were
dressage.
like, I got so many messages like, it's a legitimate thing. I was like, I
Susie,
don't know
you do not want to offend. I feel like the horse community is far larger than the curling community.
True.
However, I do love my Canadians, so I do not want to offend any of them. And I feel like Canadians and curling go hand in hand.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Let's wind it down.
Let's. Oh my gosh, I would just keep talking for forever.
Sarah had a date, you guys.
I had a date. We'll see.
We'll see.
Question mark.
Question
how
mark
it goes.
on that. We discussed the space laundry quandary, as it were.
Space laundry. Wait.
Yeah.
How many days could you go?
I think a fair
You always
few.
ask and then I never ask you.
I think I
fair
could go
few.
pretty long. Maybe not underwear, but everything else. I'm not
Underwear is the
really
one
a
that throws
sweater.
me off. You're not.
But I just love the image of you like taking off your shirt and like putting it in whatever the like ejector button area is, and it just hurtling away from the rocket.
That's what
in
that's the noise it would
disgust.
make. Yeah. Oh, just sweat, little sweat particles, just like as it spins, just like
Yeah.
spinning off of it, like
Yes.
right out into the universe.
We learned how men are pussies about their suitcases and like wanted to be all macho for
But
no
like,
goddamn reason.
look at how much I can carry. Oh, okay. Enjoy that shoulder pain.
We learned about a woman who somehow fell 2 miles and survived.
Oh my gosh, the badass bitch of the year. Century.
Sarah thinks she knows the Zodiac Killer. Is some guy named Kay.
And Susie's really glad that she doesn't have to worry about Alzheimer's and dementia because she could just take care of her hearing and her eyeballs.
Oh, I'm still worried. Trust me about that. But
Trying to help you.
I at least am glad to have a little bit of advice.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to give up we're not giving up crossword puzzles. No, not doing that, though.
No.
Still
But
gonna
we
do that.
know it's for no good reason that we do them.
Right, just to be better at crossword puzzles.
But yeah, I hope you guys leave us a 5-star review and subscribe and tell a friend. And check out our patreon.com/braincandy. Sometimes we do video versions of the show and author interviews and book club, whatevs.
Yes.
And all that jazz.
Documentary clubs. Can't
Documentary
wait till
club.
next month. All right, guys, we'll see you later.
next time. Bye.
Bye.